Hello, it is Michael Linson of Smart Classroom Management. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can acquire the mindset that students really respect. And this is especially important in this day and age because things have changed so much. And if you can have a calm attitude, a calm disposition through your workday, you'll notice that, or through your school day, you'll notice that students they'll treat you different, they'll look at you different, they'll respect you more. And I think you'll find you'll get a lot of work and better achievement from them as well. So this isn't about how you can use breathing exercises to stay calm or do any kind of meditation. Although those things can be valuable, these are the things that will cause you. So the three things I'm going to talk about, I'm going to give you today, are the things that will cause you to have this type of calmness about you, this mindset that students really respect. Before we get there, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Really appreciate it. I am responding to comments, so I'd love to hear what you have to say, so please leave your comments below. Okay, so three things. The first thing is visualize. Visualize. And for me, when I was early in my career, this had one of the top 5 things that had the greatest impact on me as a teacher is to visualize in 2 different ways. The first way, and this is something I learned from a famous tennis coach, was doing was speaking on television and talking about how they were able to train so many top champion tennis players with the proper mindset. And what he said really resonated with me. And I started using it, and it had a really powerful effect. It's something I've been talking about, writing a lot about for the past 20 years. A lot of teachers that have read those articles I've written on this particular type of visualization have also had or been profoundly affected by it. The way it works is before school begins, every single day, give yourself just a couple of minutes to sit quietly. Close your classroom door, turn off the radio if you have it on, or turn off the music if you have it on, and just sit and breathe for a couple of minutes. And what you're going to do is you're going to visualize the very worst thing that could happen in your classroom. I would visualize flying monkeys. Monkeys come flying through my classroom during class while the students are there. I would visualize, tornadoes and bad storms and everything going wrong at the same time. Sometimes I'd visualize the students getting out of control. And what you're going to do is when you make this visualization, you see this happening in your head, you see the wildebeest come running through your classroom, whatever it is, make it as ridiculous as possible. You're going to make a promise to yourself that no matter what happens that day, even if something like that were to happen, you're going to be as calm as a mountain lake, as calm as a Tibetan monk. And what's amazing is when you make this promise just for one day, you're just going to give yourself a promise just for today, I'm going to be as calm as a serene lake. And what's amazing is that you will. You'll discover that calmness in many, many ways is a decision you make. And again, if you make it just for that day, if you've never done this before, it'll probably be the best day of teaching you've ever had, at least the best day of teaching you've had in a long while. And what's incredible is if you do this day after day, it becomes who you are. It becomes your default mode. You become this teacher with the calm mindset, with the calm disposition. For my entire career, I was known as being the super, super calm teacher. And the thing of it is it's not my normal personality. It's something I acquired through this visualization. So again, just sit for a couple minutes, visualize something crazy, just a complete disaster going on, and then promise yourself that no matter what happens, you're going to stay calm. You can even picture yourself just being the picture of calm amidst this chaos around you. The second visualization, I should say, is if there are moments that make you stressed out, maybe it is following through when a student misbehaves, following through with a consequence when a student misbehaves, or a student calls out in class, whatever it is, where you feel crunched for time, you can visualize that also and visualize yourself handling it calmly. So this is another thing where you'll just take the moments that make you feel stressed out and picture yourself handling them calmly, actually going through the behaviors and actions that you'll take when that happens again. And notice, keep your heart rate down when you're visualizing this. And you'll find that when it happens, you'll discover yourself handling it the way you visualized. One of the things about visualization is that there's a lot of research around it, and what they've discovered after studies and lots of research and testing on visualization is that our body doesn't know the difference when we visualize. And again, there's lots to this. And so when you can practice when the stakes are low before school, it prepares you for the day. And in time, you become that person. And so right now, when I step on a campus, a school campus, no matter where I am, I become calmer than I do at any other time in my life because it's become an association for me. And this is how you do it. Okay, second thing is after your good lessons, after you give instruction, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, directions, instruction, teaching a lesson, you're always, always, always remembering good teaching is shifting responsibility to prove learning over to your students. So you're going to shift all responsibility for them to do the work, solve for X, write the paragraph, perform the routine, whatever it is. And while they're doing it, your only job is to observe. And in really effective classrooms, in classrooms where the students are really achieving at a high level, the teacher is standing calmly and watching a lot. Most of my school day was spent just standing and watching, observing from a distance while students did what I taught them, what I prepared them for. So you set your students up for success and then send them off. Students should be working harder than you, the teacher. If you're running around the room helping individual students with their independent work, with things that you already taught them, then your lesson wasn't good enough, and you've taught those students to be dependent on you. You've taught them learned helplessness. And so you really want to, from the first day of school, and if you haven't done this this year, you want to slowly shift more and more responsibility over to students while you observe calmly. Now, while you're observing, you can do your breathing exercises. You can remember to stay calm. But the idea is give your enthusiasm, teach great lessons while you're directing directly teaching something, and then turn it over to them and let them do the work, let them groove the skill, whatever it is. And what this does is it'll cut your talking way down, your movement way down. Your students will become much, far more independent. They won't need you as much. It just makes teaching much more pleasant and easier, much easier to stay calm. Okay, now you'll notice that these things sort of work together, and you'll see that with number 3. Number 3 is to stop trying to convince your students to behave. Stop convincing. No more convincing students to behave. This includes lecturing, pulling students aside, questioning, counseling, bribery, like rewards in exchange for good behavior, false praise, talking students through this and that, telling them what to think and how they should feel and all this sort of stuff. Not only isn't it effective, especially now since the pandemic, but it's incredibly stressful. Incredibly stressful. If I had to go to work every day thinking that I had to use my wits and my creative thoughts and my creative use of words to get students to behave, I would have never been a teacher. So what do you do instead? Well, what you do, which is far less stressful, in fact, it's not stressful at all if you do it the right way, and it also really raises students' respect for you, is to have a classroom management plan. It's something you've heard me say again and again. I'll continue to, because it's so key, is to have a classroom management plan that takes care of misbehavior for you. And so you absolve yourself of all responsibility trying to convince students to behave, and you put it on your classroom management plan to do it for you. Now, one of the reasons why this works so well is because when you are a calm, pleasant person and you have great lessons, students love being in your classroom. And respect is part of students really enjoying coming to your classroom every day, looking forward to it every day. And so that calm personality attracts students. They want to get to know you, and they want to hang out with you, and they want you to eat lunch with them, and all these sorts of things. And it takes no effort on your part. The only effort is simply being pleasant. Now, these 3 things take discipline. That's your only payment, is you have to be disciplined to visualize. You have to be disciplined to hold yourself back, which is hard for us as teachers because we want to do more and continue to help more. And all that does is it backfires and it makes students worse. It's one of the reasons why education, public education in particular, is failing. We teach great lessons, which kids love, by the way, and then shift responsibility over to students. Now, how to teach those compelling lessons is a video for another topic. We will be covering that in the future. But just know, the more you shift responsibility, the more respect they're going to have, the more they're going to enjoy your classroom. And when you stop convincing all these things that you're doing, the manipulation with students on their behavior, your intimidation and getting angry and allowing behavior get under your skin, all those things create friction with students. They make you stressed out, more apt to behave that way, more apt to be the teacher you never wanted to become, where you're on one side and your student's on the other, and there's resentment between you. You can never be calm in that situation. Students don't respect it. In fact, they'll misbehave behind your back every chance they get. But with these things, they love being part of your classroom. What happens is your classroom management plan will matter to your students. Those rules and consequences will matter to them because they like being in your classroom. They like being a valued member in good standing. And so they'll do anything to stay in good standing. They don't want to break rules. They don't want to suffer a consequence because they want to please you. They want to listen for you and behave for you. Okay, so to bring this calm mindset, if you do these three things, it will change your teaching. I think you'll enjoy it a lot more, and also change what you're getting from your students, their work habits, and their own enjoyment of school. Okay, I will leave links to the classroom management plans. We have two: an elementary one, elementary, lower middle, upper middle, high school. I'll leave links to both those plans in the description below. In the meantime, hope you're having a great week, and I'll see you next time.